Hello. I have a written journal for you this morning. It's a pretty recent one. Actually, it's from yesterday, I think. Yeah, it's from Friday, 4/22, first journal of that day. And the Mayan day was 6 Monkey. And it's called Music Genie, Being the Empty Cup, Heart Just Knows, Guides or Angels. So here we go. I start out this one not knowing if I have anything worthwhile to say. Yeah, I know, what's new, right? So, I begin by sharing with you how in the recent video I recorded, the one with the Chinese music in the background, how the music behaved or didn't behave. It didn't make sense. I had 2 long music clips chosen, one over 22 minutes and the other over 17. I didn't figure I'd talk any longer than that. And so they should have been more than enough for that video that turned out to be 24 minutes, right? So it should have finished one and just started on the second one. Well, it didn't happen that way. Now, no big deal here, but it was pretty strange the way the first one didn't complete, but just skipped right over to the next one. And then too, there was a time, now I haven't gone back and listened to it again, but there was a time, I think I had just mentioned quiet or silence or something, when the music just stopped for a bit. Finally, it didn't finish the second one either. And it should have, but it went on to the third one that was after it. Go figure. So, what gives with this? What's going on? Do I have a music genie? Or elementals? Or is my computer possessed? Yikes. Actually, no. I am laughing at that. I don't really care what the deal is. It doesn't matter enough. I just note unusual things and go on. I mention it, though, to illustrate something, and that's that whether or not there's a logical reason for something doesn't matter. It can still be talking to you. Do you see? Just because you can understand with the mind why something happened doesn't make it unimportant. The two sides of the same coin again, this and that, they can seem totally different and yet both still be true. I don't know that I can do a write-up for this video, friends. I'm just not feeling like it. Some of these are a real challenge to do a write-up for. Why am I reading a journal that's with a live one? What am I doing? I don't know. Told you I wake up in a new world every day. Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know that I can do a write-up for this live video, friends. I'm just not feeling like it. Some of these are a real challenge to do a write-up for. I used to try to follow the video along as I was typing and pick up the main points and put them in writing here. Yet, some go too fast, jump around too much or something. I don't know. I do try to share with you a new way of thought or of being. You often hear me say I'm dropping something in heart. If I don't get an answer or something right away, that's what I do. Drop it into heart and let it go. Then I'll come back to it later and I'll generally have an answer then. Sometimes I may have to sleep on it, but one way or another, the huge bulk of things get answered for me this way. In the meantime, I may be inspired to do this or that, or may get another email or something that will shed light on it. I'm not saying all my answers come out of nowhere, just that they come. It's not necessary to supervise the mind, to be always in it like we do. What I've found is that the mind does quite well on its own. It will work for you without supervision. Give it a try. You can stay in heart and more enjoy yourself while the mind does its thing. Something else I got off into is how nobody is more important than anyone else. No one is better. All are just one. I even crack myself up over this. Go figure. Can't put the humor here. Sorry. Go watch the video. What is true is that we are all one. Thus, whatever someone else has or understands, you have that too. How? You are that. You are them. I share a tactic I learned in matrix energetics where if you want to tap into someone else's idea or understanding, you can, in effect, put on Einstein's head. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. Well, so what? This can really work because you are that. See, this is just a way to take advantage of it, to use it, to get into it. I am calling on us all to empty the cup. Listen to whatever comes to you. We all have guides, you know, guardian angels or whatever you call them. We all have help. Well, if you're empty, then you're in a lot better shape to be hearing them. Be the empty cup. Don't listen to all of those thoughts, yours or others. Ignore the mind. Are you a genius? Well, so what? I don't care. It doesn't matter. While getting my degree in special education, I learned many things. Among them, that there are a number of us born without the full brain. Some have half a brain, or less, or even the whole cranium just full of water, the spinal fluid. Not much brain there. No, don't think all of these people spend life in a veggie state. They don't. I guess that was meant to be now. A good number of them turn out to have quite normal intelligence, or just below that. Some even higher than average. Yeah, I know. Go figure. Without a brain. Doesn't make sense, right? Well, best not to be so convinced you know anything. Knowing is okay, just don't get attached. When someone challenges your ideas, back off and listen. Hello. You may find you're wrong or just not as right as you thought you were. Now, speaking of these beings, guides, angels, whatever, have you read of Robert Monroe? He was a great out-of-body explorer. He spent much time just wandering around out there. There was, for a time, a certain being he developed a real closeness with. I forget what he called it, but they met at the same place all the time and went adventuring together. It kind of mentored him. Well, one day, the being let him know it would be moving on. And he was deeply disappointed. He didn't want it to go, but it did, and it never returned. He was sad, and he went to their place again and again. Later in life, though, he at some point realized that being was him. It was maybe a more advanced stage or state or level of his own self, maybe from the future, that he had been talking and working with. So friends, just be open to whatever that may be what shows up. Don't think you know, in other words. We don't. The being working with you may be yourself. Besides, God has this tremendous sense of humor, and we've got to watch out for that as well. Not take things so seriously. This is generally a good idea. I say this in reference to the guidance that you might tune into that's been more present for me of late. Your guide or whatever. Who knows who and what that is? Let's be the empty cup. That way we'll be opening up to something really wild like this. Your heart knows what is what. It really does, and you can trust it. Just let go. By getting the mind trained to keep a respectful distance with all that thinking stuff, we can be peaceful and in heart more. We are poised and tuned in then, more able to hear the guidance of Source or of whatever. Heck, could be aliens for all I know. One way or another, being in heart, not in mind, is the way I found best to tune into the flow. And the bottom line, too, is that no one is better or more important than you are. Let's not be looking up to others so much, okay? Fine, they did some wonderful stuff. That's good. Well, take advantage of that. And remember, that is you. We're all one. I am that. And this covers everything. It really does. Okay, friends. I'm telling you, I wake up in a new world every day. It says right there, it's a live video. So what am I doing recording the written part without even intending to? I don't know. But let me take it a little further here by saying, you know, all life is about you. Now, be in heart with this, not in the head. Realize that ego is a property more of mind and 3D than anything, and you're not limited to that. So just forget the ego. Go into the heart and listen. All of life is about you. Everything out there is there in relation to you. This is your stage. You're complete. You're whole within yourself. Everything out there is a reflection and a stage for you. Know thyself. We have an outpicturing of ourselves all around us to work with and within. Everything is provided for you. Now, that doesn't say what kind of part you're choosing to play here. You may be an Einstein, and your choice is to come in and be here and to anchor from the greatest levels, highest levels you can reach up to anchor new thought, new light, new understanding, new comprehension that will raise us all up. You may be here to be a healer, to heal bodies, to heal emotions, to comfort souls. You may be here just to be of service. Why you're here is unique, and it's individual to you, but recognize your own importance in the overall scheme of things. You're not just one atom out of many. You're the whole point. Your service is that important. Stay out of the head, listen in heart, and get it. Your service is that important. When you cross over and you're standing before your guides, before the spiritual beings, going over your life, looking at it. You know, it might pay to go listen to some of the people's experience with their NDEs, their near-death experiences. I remember a lady who was very active in her church, a Southern lady, and she did a lot of charity things. You know, she kind of felt that was her service in life. I guess she donated money and did things. And when she was going through her life review, there were incidents like where she'd helped an elderly person cross a busy street, and just spur of the moment things where she had done something for someone. And when she came back to life here in 3D again, her whole understanding of what was important was completely adjusted, and she was made to realize those little spur of the moment things she did, that was the gold on the other side. Not so much how big was the check that you gave to what charity. And so while we're here, we tend to get our priorities out of whack. And we largely do this by submerging ourselves in the society, in the family, in the school system, in the whatever, you know. We are looking to and acknowledging others outside of the self as being more important. Well, picture yourself at your life review. Let's try to bring a broader perspective into this life. Come on, folks. It's the last one for a huge number of us. And there's no reason that we can't expand our narrow room, expand our consciousness tremendously. There's no reason why not. All right? Now you are at that life review right now. Remember, all time is simultaneous. Put yourself there. Put yourself there. Feel it. It's yours. There's nothing wrong with accessing this. See, again, that's the submergence of the self under supposed rules and things. Throw out the rule book. The heart's rules are not many. They're very simple. The golden rule and love. Wisdom's a pretty good idea too. See, we've thought that we were lesser beings than what we are. We didn't realize the abilities that we truly have and have access to, and so we haven't been calling on them. I'm saying spread your wings. It's time to fly. And let's not look up to things outside of the self quite so much. Thanks. Now, do I do a write-up for the write-up for the live journal? Never mind, let's not go there.